Hey there, I am Angella Sharpe, and welcome to today's Daily Mix. You know the Daily Mix, I'm going to tell you everything that's going on in and around St. Louis, kind of keeping you in the loop. And Bachelorette fans are going to want to stick around. At the end of the show, I've got Tony the healer. He's going to be joining me. Now, did you guys see the big lunar eclipse, the whole moon thing? No, you didn't, because there was clouds everywhere. That's all right. I got some good news, though. The Happy Birthday song, it is now free from copyright. Now, that was written before 1893 by a teacher and her sister. It actually was written as a good morning to all song, and I apologize for singing, but it was good morning to you, good morning to you, good morning, dear children, good morning to all. And then somewhere along the line, it got turned into the birthday song. Well, the judge ruled that the copyright brought by Warner Chappell only covered the piano arrangements and not the birthday lyrics, and we actually don't even know where those lyrics came from anyway. Now, they claim that that song makes Warner Chappell over $3 million a year, so that's quite a heavy hit. And now maybe when you go out to like and eat and you get like your free birthday cupcake, they will actually sing you happy birthday instead of their own weird song. And today is actually National Good Neighbor Day. It was created in early 1970s to celebrate good neighbors. Now here's a fun fact. You Americans, 92% of you consider yourselves to be very good neighbors. 8 out of 10 Americans agree that their neighbors are willing to help each other. And if you want to be an even better neighbor, I have 5 traits that can make you a better neighbor. Are you ready? Number 1 is to be respectful of personal space. In my opinion, that's don't talk to me. And 2, be friendly when you see the other person, like, hey, you can smile and nod and wave. 3, be willing to offer help if someone needs it. 4, take care of your yard, because that's very important. And 5, help in a time of crisis. I would like to add something to the list. If there's something going on in the front of your condo and you need to get in the back of your condo, don't lock your neighbor out, because that's rude. You can celebrate today by doing something nice for your neighbor. All right, everybody, let's get started on today's Daily Mix. All right, by now you probably know that I'm a country music fan. Well, Florida Georgia Line was in concert this Saturday at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. You know, they used to call that Verizon Wireless Amphitheater. It was actually the last show of the season, and a pretty good group to have them here. Now, I remember 2 years ago, Florida Georgia Line headlined their own show at the Sharpe Arena, and I went to that show, and I was waiting, and I was waiting. You see, they do a song called Cruise, and in the remix to that song, St. Louis' very own Nelly is the rapper in that song. So I waited and waited. Nelly didn't show up. Well, Saturday night, at the very end, Nelly made a surprise visit, and he showed up and sang part of that song. These pics I'm showing you are from 92.3 WIL, and if you want to see a little bit video of Nelly rapping, you can check out WIL's Facebook page. And keeping it country, or maybe pop, who knows anymore, Taylor Swift is in concert tonight and Tuesday at sold-out shows at the Scott Trade Center. Now, she's been everywhere, and she's had a lot of special guests. She had Mick Jagger, she's had Phoebe, the character Phoebe from Friends, she's had athletes, she's had everybody. So people want to know, who do you think her celebrity guest is going to be this evening? Who do you think? Well, I mean, I'm going with Nelly, right? I mean, he just did Florida Georgia Line the other day. He might as well stop by Taylor Swift. And of course, Carly Kloss, the supermodel, she is from Webster Groves. Hopefully she's not doing anything and she can stop by and say hi. Now, I know a lot of people are excited about IKEA. We've been talking about it and talking about it. Well, it's finally here. They open Wednesday. It's the 41st store to open in the U.S., and doors will open at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Now, customers have been invited to line up 48 hours prior to the grand opening, and yes, people are already out there. On Wednesday, they're going to have entertainment and live music. That'll begin at 6 a.m., but people are lined up for one thing, and that is the giveaways. On Wednesday, the first 41 adults will get a sofa, a whole sofa. The next 100 adults get an armchair. The first 100 kids get a heart-shaped soft toy, which is kind of cool. The first 2,500 adults get prize envelopes with gift cards from either $10 to $250, or buy one, get one free items such as cinnamon buns, hot dogs, frozen yogurts. And if you can prove that your birthday is on the 30th, you get a $41 gift card. And that's not where the giveaways end. On Thursday, they've got giveaways too. The first 40 adults on Thursday get a queen-size mattress. The next 100 adults get a free home delivery of their purchase that day. And kids 12 and under eat free Friday. Now, Friday giveaways, the first 41 adults get a monthly meatball meal for family of 4 for 1 whole year. The next 41 adults get a food tote bag and voucher to fill at the Swedish food market. And the first 100 kids get a frozen yogurt. Yes, all that's happening. IKEA is open Wednesday, IKEA.com. And if you even have to travel that way, I'd check out the traffic because it's going to be a little crazy. Speaking of crazy and maybe creepy, Creepyworld Screampark is now open. I'm really excited about this. I love Halloween. It's the world's biggest and scariest outdoor scream park. It features 13 haunted activities in one location. They have zombie paintball rides, several haunted houses, there's mazes, 3D haunts, haunted cornfields, graveyards, and zombie-themed attractions. And they have some new stuff this year. They have the Whispering Woods Graveyard, and the coolest and creepiest thing, the Dollhouse Mansion. Plus, they have the world's largest outdoor movie screen, showing horror movies while guests wait, and open weekends all the way through November 7th, so you have plenty of time. Scarefest.com. I love it. I love Halloween. We're almost there, guys. And if you're looking to do some cool stuff in the 314, the Do 314 app is now ready. It gives people the best good times St. Louis has to offer. You can find stuff to do while on the go. Now, the Do Stuff app is available for iPhone, and an Android version is on the way, coming soon. But this new app only features event listings and maps. You can see what's going on right now, plus upcoming events, and you can even follow your favorite artists. And what's really cool is you can switch between other cities. So if you're traveling to Nashville or Chicago, you can find out what's going on there. Do314.com. And, just to mix it up a little bit, presidentially, WashU has announced that it will host the presidential debate next October. This will be the 6th time they've hosted this at the University Athletic Complex. It'll be interesting to see all the spotlight on St. Louis, to see what they talk about and who comes. Now, I know the St. Louis Cardinals are a little bit bummed. Now, they're not just bummed because they lost the game yesterday. They lost Carlos Martinez. Yeah, he left the game Friday. He actually pitched like 7 pitches, and he left for shoulder tenderness. He will actually be done for the rest of the season, including postseason, because of this shoulder strain. Good news is that he won't have to have surgery. Bad news is he's a pretty good pitcher, and he won't be able to be used in the playoffs. And in a little Blues news, and of course about injuries, Lehtera, okay, this is an interesting story. So he, in the second to last game of the season, he blocked a shot from Chicago off his ankle. He continued to play in the playoffs with the injury to his ankle and actually a sprained or broken wrist. And then this summer he went on about his day. He was biking, he was going to the gym, he was hanging out. Well, the first time he laced up his skates this summer, something was wrong. So he went to a bunch of doctors, and in early August he had ankle surgery. What he had was a bone chip cutting the tendons. Yeah, that hurts, right? Now, he's been working on trying to return. They said he might be able to return for the season opener, which is October the 8th. And last year, he played a lot with Tarasenko, which was a cool line. Looks like this year that line will be Steen, Tarasenko, and so no Lehtera for you. And keeping it Blues friendly, Allen versus Elliott. Who's going to be the #1 goalie? I know, same question, different year. And you kind of thought maybe Allen was going to be the #1 since he had it in the playoffs. But no, Hitchcock said they are still battling out for the #1 spot. He would like to name a #1 goalie, either Allen or Elliott, pretty soon. But right now, they're battling it out. And locally, Tyron Woodley. He is a local UFC welterweight. He will be taking on Johnny Hendricks in the UFC 192. That'll be October the 3rd at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Now, he campaigned to fight this former champion and top contender. This is really cool because he is from the St. Louis area. He's one of 13 kids. He went to school here. He went to Missouri State. All while wrestling, he managed to stay on the honor roll, and now he's going to fight the top contender on pay-per-view. So good luck to him. The Science of Wrigley's Believe It or Not is open. Well, actually opens Thursday, October the 1st at the St. Louis Science Center. Visitors can explore real science behind the unbelievable. I actually had to learn a bit about this too. This is a life-size model of prehistoric snake that kids can crawl through. Kids love crawling through things, right? And if you're a little bit older kid, they have a portrait of Justin Bieber made entirely out of candy. And you can measure yourself up against Robert Wadlow. He's actually from the area, really tall guy. You can see where you stand, where you would come to him. And you can see a calf with 2 faces and so much more. It runs through January 3rd. slsc.org for information on that. The Hard Rock Cafe St. Louis has their 16th annual Pinktober. That's starting October 3rd. They have Zumba classes from 9:30 to 10:30 and a health fair from 8 to 1. Sherry Farmer from 106.5 The Arch will be around. Plus Anna and Elsa will be there. Lots of other local businesses and health and wellness booths, silent auctions, all happening. You can check out more information at hardrock.com/St. Louis. The Best of Missouri Market and More at Missouri Botanical Gardens typically draws lots of people, like 25,000 people over 3 days. Well, more than 120 food producers, baked goods, flowers, herbs, crafts, and more. They're also going to have live music, a kids corner, and fall activities. Now all this is outdoor, underneath tents, rain or shine. It's October 2nd through the 4th, mobot.org. It's all on your screen right there. And I'm pretty excited, and I know Bachelorette fans are now too. I've got Tony Harris with me, Tony the Healer from Bachelorette fame.
Hello,
right there. Hey,
hello,
thank you
St.
for
Louis.
joining me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
All right, first we have to back up because I talked to you
Yes.
before the show. You are really sane and not a crazy
Believe
person.
it or not. Believe it or not. It's funny how editing goes.
Yeah,
right.
so you're not nuts.
Not completely. Not completely.
Not completely nuts. How did you get roped in to The Bachelorette?
I actually had a client of mine lead me into the interview process. So she's basically become my big sister over the years, and she wanted to find me love because she knows the potential that I have and the heart that's within. So took me down, interviewed, and 6 months later I was on a plane to LA. So
Wow, crazy.
not necessarily what I thought going into it. I had not seen an episode.
You've not
leading
ever
into-
seen not even one episode?
No, I've never seen a single episode before leaving.
Wow.
My whole strategy was cluelessness, and that was definitely not the method to take.
That
So-
was not the method to take.
Right, but I thought it was based on love. I really
Well,
thought, I
it's
understand that
reality
it's a reality
TV.
television show, but I still didn't think I was fighting, or signed up for the Ultimate Fighter. So,
Well,
it was good,
and
though.
yeah, there was a lot of, definitely on this season more than any other, there was a lot of
Yes.
competition, manly competition. I don't know if they're really manly.
I sort
but-
of say, I don't know what's the definition of a real man.
Right, exactly,
Someone
a
who's
little
willing to go
boxing
beat
and-
somebody up for a date. So yeah,
Not really your thing.
Debatable.
Now you're classified as the healer on the
That
show.
is the character that they gave me.
Right, so
I'll
what
take
do
it.
you
I'll take it.
actually do in real life?
I am a body worker and I specialize in flexibility therapy. So it's basically kind of like physical therapy, only a little more proactive.
Okay, so you work with like athletes,
Yeah,
that kind of
athletes, anyone who's injured. I've got everyone from 10-year-old clients to 84-year-old clients and everywhere in between. So
thing. Since you were on The Bachelorette, do you find people coming to you for this kind of?
I haven't really accepted new clients since being on the show. I didn't
Because you don't want crazies.
Well, I don't want people to come for the wrong reasons.
Sounds like a line from the show.
Well, yeah, right. So, no, it was good. It was good. My business didn't really have much more room to expand before I left. That's not really why I went on the show.
Oh, so you weren't looking for the Hollywood fame?
No, I really do believe in the concept of love, believe it or not.
Shocking.
So,
What is
yeah,
wrong with
it still does exist.
Are
So.
you still friends with anybody from?
Yeah, absolutely. I still talk to several of the guys daily.
Really?
So yeah, we're all in contact with one another, and I'm sure that some of these guys will actually be at my real wedding one day
Whenever
if that happens.
Well,
right.
I guess I should ask for the ladies watching who might be interested. Are you still single?
Still single.
Oh, ladies,
still single.
So if you're looking, Tony is still single.
Absolutely.
Now, do you want to be on something like Bachelor in Paradise?
We discussed Bachelor in Paradise, but obviously the outline for the show wasn't congruent with my philosophy. So I
There
am
wasn't a whole lot
open.
of fighting on Bachelor in Paradise, though.
Yeah, but I talked to some of the other guys that were on the show, and they basically said it was more hell than paradise. So understandable.
We're showing some photos of you from the
Oh,
Bachelorette.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
when you went there, which woman did you really hope would stay?
I didn't know anything about either one of them before I went. So when I got there, I went in there with the intention with Caitlin, of being with Caitlin, and then when I met Britt, it just basically shifted.
Shifted over
Some
there.
of the red flags with Caitlin showed up, so then, you know, Britt was there with her angel wings on. So then when she left, it was kind of all downhill from there.
Just all went downhill fast.
Yeah.
Now, you did not like the sumo wrestling.
You know, I mean, I just didn't understand what it had to do with love. I mean, if you want to put us in sumo suits and let us run around and look like fools and
Right.
we all have fun, we can definitely tell who the stronger male is, who the more dominant person is, and nobody gets hurt. You know,
Right.
I mean, I didn't walk off the set until after Cupcake got thrown in the air and landed on his
he's a
side.
delicate soul.
Right, and he's a dentist. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching this guy's getting thrown around myself, understanding how quickly injury can happen and how long it takes to get away
Right,
from
and
it. And this
especially with
man's
what
a
you do.
dentist.
Right.
You know, he's got a practice to go back to, and you know, he could have landed on his neck or could have broken his wrist, and nobody really said anything about or gave much concern to our well-being. So it's just, that's when I decided that I needed to walk away.
It was no longer for you.
Right,
And would you do
right.
any other sort of reality
Yeah,
TV?
absolutely. You know, I mean, I do feel like, I mean, obviously I'm fairly entertaining on television, so.
And you don't mind being a little, because you came off a little bit loony.
Well, I mean, I think we all are a little bit loony. Just some of us own it a little more than others.
That was actually a really interestingly great answer.
It's the truth. You know, none of us are in our right mind. I just accept what the deal is and focus on, you know, on what is best for all of humanity. So yeah, I don't understand, you know, what I was seeing and how people could even, you know, partake in those kind of events. But it was a great experience. I met a lot of really cool people. You know, I got to take advantage of things that I would not have gotten to
Right.
otherwise. So in hindsight, it was a great opportunity, but a horrible experience. So.
I love that. Great opportunity, horrible experience. Now, you do some, skydiving, right?
Yeah, I'm an avid skydiver. I've got over 300 skydives. I'm a
wow.
I'm a wingsuiter. Right, I'm an avid hunter and outdoorsman. You know, I've worked on an ambulance. I've seen people die. I've saved people's lives. I've had my own mother's blood on me. So
The EMTs always have the most interesting stories.
And the whole producers, they knew all of these stories as well, but they chose to characterize me as they did. So they could have gone one of many different ways, but they had their outline for all.
When you watched the show, I assume, did you watch the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you a little miffed, or did you kind of already know when you were in there, like while they were taping, did you kind of know, I'm going to be a little bit loony?
Yeah, I really understood. I expected it once I stood up against the format.
Right.
So I knew that when I went against the grain, they had to characterize me a little more left field. That way it wouldn't question the status quo.
I'm surprised how open you're being, because usually with these
You
reality
know, I
TV
mean,
shows.
I think people need to know the truth. I really do. I mean, I do believe that everyone deserves happiness and that everyone deserves respect. And a show based on love was about nothing more than manipulation and corruption. So, you know, I think that if more people start to expect and demand more from Bachelor Nation, if Bachelor Nation sees that what's going on and that it could be done a little better, then
I'm just shocked
the
at how
drama,
candid you're being.
the drama will happen naturally.
Right.
Drama, well, you don't need to create drama for it to happen naturally. So I just found that they were dedicating more time to ideas that were not even real. You know, JJ and Clint and the whole,
Right. Oh, that
you
was
know,
a little
all of
crazy.
these. I mean, they spent more time talking about these things than they did, and they were untrue. So then they did talking about Caitlin and her quest for love. So it was a little disappointing and a little upsetting. But the more people feed into it, the more they're going to get. So I think that in time, if people start to want more. And want better for themselves along with everyone else, then that's when the shift will happen. So
I was shocked
that's why I'm here.
I'm shocked at how sane you are. It's
well,
amazing.
you know, believe it or not.
Well,
I'm
we have
here.
to tell everybody where to find you. TonyTheHealer.com.
Yes.
You
Check
also
me out on Instagram, 101 Free Fly. And so all
You've
of
got
these
Twitter,
can be on,
and you've got
absolutely.
Instagram, and
perfect.
Facebook.
Absolutely.
All your information is right there on your screen. I'm so happy to meet you and know that you're actually not loony and totally sane. Thank you so much for joining us. And make sure you check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, and drop us a line right here at The Daily Mix at stltv.net. We want to hear from you. Is something going on? Let me know. Want to come be on the show? Hey, drop me a line. That's going to do it for The Daily Mix, but make sure you keep it right here on STL TV and experience St. Louis. See you next time.